Today, what I am talking about is exactly what is a business advisor? Like, what is the role that you guys have as someone who is going to move from accounting and bookkeeping into a business advisory role? So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. I'm going to be sharing something called the Success. Try and put my teeth back in. It is early. The Success Triad, which are the three things that you need to do as a business advisor. So there is a fundamental shift that happens when you move from being a technician into being an advisor. Right now, you're probably spending most of your time using your hands, doing the work for clients. We call that being a technician, right? You're being the accountant, you're being the bookkeeper. And when you move to being a business advisor, things do change, and the actions that you take and the things that you do are very different from a traditional accounting and bookkeeping role. Now, the great thing is you have everything you need to be an advisor if you have been in industry for a while, or if you are running your own accounting, bookkeeping, or CFO firm already. So let me share with you exactly what I'm going to be doing. So what we're talking about is the shift from actually doing the work for your clients into advising them how to create the outcomes that they want. So when you're a business advisor, you're not sitting there and translating the numbers for them. You're getting to grips with what your ideal client wants, their goals and their aspirations. You are in a really amazing position. And the reason why you're in such a great position is because you actually hold the keys to something that is so important to business owners, right? It's money. You can't have a viable business if it doesn't make money. It's as simple as that. And to make money, you need people to buy stuff, and you need to understand who's buying it, why they're buying it, and what goes out and what comes in and what they need to do with their accounting. You have the most powerful opportunity. And so many of you are not taking advantage of that opportunity, and you're letting business coaches actually be the ones to help clients. But business coaches are missing a fundamental thing, and that is the understanding of the money. So that's what a business advisor does, is take all of their experience and education and turn it into an advisory offer as a bookkeeper or an accountant. You can show people how much money they've got, how much money they need, how much money they need to get, how they need to save, what taxes they need to pay for. You are able to help them with their business. And that is what they need. That's what they're looking for. You as a business owner yourself, if you're running your own accounting firm or your bookkeeping firm right now, you know that it's really lonely and that you need answers. One of the reasons why you're watching this video today is because you need answers around business advisory. It's something that you want to find out more about and you want to shift into. Or maybe you've shifted into it and you want to have a better business model because you're still not making the money from advisory that you've been promised by people, right? So you need to understand that every business owner has a problem, and the problem normally comes back down to the business model, how much money they're making, how much money they're keeping, more importantly as a business owner, and is it possible to sell it, or what are the plans for that business? And you can show them exactly how much they need, how much they've got, how to get more money, etc., etc., and whether or not they even need to sell the business. So a lot of businesses are started because one day they want to sell for retirement. You are able to tell them whether or not that's possible. And because you've built your business from the numbers up, you can advise not only on money, but also on how to grow a business. And if you haven't had advice yet on how to grow your business, then that's something that I highly recommend you do, because we don't wake up knowing the answers to everything. You have to learn from someone that's been there and done that before. And that's why I launched the Business Advisor Academy, to teach you guys how to have an advisory arm to your business. So we set it up as a separate entity. It's not a bolt-on. It is a separate business model that we can include in your accounting and bookkeeping firm. But we show you how to run an advisory business, which is very different from running a compliance-based business. Okay, so you have all the skills that you need, and your skills come from three places. It comes from your experience, everything that you've done in the past 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 plus years. I've actually, the most mature person, I was going to say oldest, but the most mature person that I actually worked with was an 81-year-old lady. absolutely amazing, got great results from moving into being an advisor. And your advice comes from all of your experience. So the older you are, more often than not, the wiser you are. So if you're in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, you're in a really good place to be an advisor. I'm not saying that if you're in your 20s or 30s, you can't be, but I know that 40s, 50s, and 60s, you're older and wiser, right? Your education. So you've invested in becoming a CPA. Maybe you've done bookkeeping courses. Maybe you've learned how to be an advisor. Maybe you've had that education already. That is so important to enable you to help business owners. Okay. And then we've got the essence. So the essence is who you are as a person. So when I have a conversation with someone and they're interested in joining our academy, I often look at their experience and their education to see whether or not they could even be a business advisor. But more importantly, I'm working with the person. So what's unique about what we do here at the Business Advisor Academy is we work with the person and their values and how they want to show up in the world and the business that they want to create and who they are to craft an advisory offer that appeals to their ideal client. So it's about your essence as well. Do you have the right essence to be a business advisor? And that is someone who is friendly and open and a listener and not too much of a talker. The worst business advisors are the ones that just want to spew information because nobody needs more information, okay? They need a listener. You need to be listening. You've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. You need to listen twice as much as you speak, right? So the essence of you is probably way more important than your experience and education, because what you need to do as a business advisor isn't about what you know as much as how you show up and how you support your clients. So that's very important. Once you're clear on these 3 things, you can start to understand your ideal client and what they want to achieve. And that's where the magic happens. That's where you become what we call a Sherpa to guide them to success. Now, you might have heard the term Sherpa before. It's the person that takes you up the mountain. It's the guide. It's the one who understands all of the nuances of that mountain, how to get up there safely. They've done it a few times before for people, probably many times. And without a Sherpa, you won't get to the top of the mountain. You can't go up Mount Everest without a Sherpa, right? A local who understands the rough, the terrain, all that kind of thing. Think of your client's business like a mountain. The climb can be treacherous, it can be unpredictable, it can be exhausting. I'm explaining how it is to run your business as well. And what they don't need is someone to watch what they're doing. They need someone to be a guide. And at the moment, if you're doing accounting and bookkeeping work for your clients, you're just watching what they're doing and you're not helping them with their business. Like a Sherpa, your clients rely on you for 5 things. And if they're not getting it, then we need to make sure that they do. So the first thing is that you need to be able to analyze their current situation. You then need to prepare and plan so that they have success. You need to think about risk management across the market, economy, and operations. So I'm very happy to see that on LinkedIn, we've got a budget here in the UK coming up, and the proactive accountants, not all of you, the proactive accountants are helping the business owners right now with advice through LinkedIn, free advice through LinkedIn of what the future might hold for us. Some of it is really scary as business owners. We're already being squeezed, and now we're going to get squeezed from both ends, and it's not fun. And we need someone to be in our court. We don't want someone to just give us flippant what's going on in the world. We want someone to go, it's okay. We're going to look after you. We're going to help you. We're going to advise you on the best things that you can do. All right. You also need to help people with skill enhancement and training. So when they are running their finances, their business, they need to understand how to use Xero. They need to know what profit and loss looks like. They need to understand a cash flow forecast. And that's your job as the accountant and bookkeeper as you move into advisory, to advise them around these things. It will change their world if you just step into the role of helping that little bit more. And then, of course, you've got the support and motivation to keep climbing. You know what it's like to run a business. It can be demotivating, it can be exhausting, it can be absolutely horrendous sometimes. We all need someone in our corner, and it shouldn't be our friends, the guy down the pub, or our mum and dad. It should be the accountant or bookkeeper who's stepped into that advisory role. Now, all of these 5 needs form what we call here at the Business Advisory Academy the Success Triad. So The first part of the Success Triad is that you need to navigate. You need to understand where your clients are and manage any risks that you see coming. Now, you can look at the risks by knowing what's going on in the economy. You can understand what's happened in the past. And also, you have worked with multiple businesses, so you understand what might or might not happen with their finances. Secondly, we need to elevate. The second part of the Success Triad is to elevate. So we need to plan and prepare so that your clients have success. You need to sit down with them and go, what are your goals? Let's put together a plan. Let's make sure we hit that plan, okay? And we do the making sure they hit the plan by actually supporting them. And this is ongoing motivation and accountability. And being a business advisor is less around giving advice and more about what is it that we said we were going to do? Did we do it? Excellent. Let's move on and let's decide what the next thing is that we're going to do. Every single advisor should build their signature system around the Success Triad. So the signature system is the methodology that you help your clients with, where you take them from pain to success. And you need to make sure that the Success Triad is featured in all of your signature system. It's where your clients are now to where they want to be. And your signature system is the foundation of your advisory practice. And if you don't have one and you haven't spent weeks, maybe even months, sometimes years, right? It will not work. Your advisory business is unable to scale. You'll be charging by the hour. You'll be doing project work. It will be ad hoc. It won't be a separate business model that works. It will be a mess. And you need to have your signature system at the heart of it. It's the thing that enables you to scale your time and your revenue and your take-home pay. It saves hours of time and gives you total clarity and your clients total clarity. It cuts through the noise. It communicates your value clearly and attracts clients who are ready to invest in you. That's why you need to have a signature system, and it needs to have the Success Triad at the center of it. So I want you to think about your ideal client right now. I want you to think about, what do they need? What do they currently have? What do they need to do to have what they want to have? And who, this one's a really important one, who do they need to be to reach their goals? And that's why I say that when I work with my clients, they have to have some kind of essence about them. They've got to be, as a business advisor, you've got to be interested in business. You should be reading books on business. You should be educating yourself. You should be taking courses. You should be investing in knowledge, because that knowledge can then be transferred to your clients. If you aren't investing in coaching and putting yourself out there and learning and listening to books and reading to books every single day, how can you help business owners? You're not making yourself better. Therefore, you can't be a great business advisor. You need to make sure that you're learning. You can pay for courses or you can do them for free. You can be doing what you're doing today, which is learning through my video, which is completely free. Okay, so these are the things that you need to be thinking about. If you look at a business, so you've got two different businesses here, right? You've got a plumber and you've got an e-commerce business. They are going to have different problems. They're going to have different wants. They're going to have different situations. An e-commerce business might be growing something to sell one day. A plumber might just want to retire at 60, having grown a business that's very successful with a couple of other plumbers' mates, right? And you're going to be dealing with a different entity. One could be multi-million. A traditional plumber might be earning 80 to 200, 300K a year. So that's why you have to have clarity on your ideal client. So your job is to bridge the gap between where your ideal client is now and where they want to be. And you need to understand your ideal client. Are they the plumber? Are they the e-commerce business owner? Are they someone who runs a marketing agency? Do they have a huge business? Do they have a tiny business? What is it that they are doing? What kind of business are they running? Are they on their local high street? Do they have ridiculous rates that they have to pay just to have a shop front? All right, you need to understand your ideal client. And the gap between where they are now and where they want to be is your methodology, and your job is to fill that gap. That methodology is what we call the signature system. So what does an advisor really do? That's the question today, isn't it? Well, the advisor bridges the gap using their experience, education, and the essence of who they are. And you help your clients navigate, elevate, and stay supported through accountability. That's what truly defines you as a business advisor. It's not the title, but the transformation that you help your clients have. So if you would like to find out how we can help you at the Business Advisor Academy, find out about our certification program, our CPD certified certification program, then click to the link around this video where I explain exactly what our offer is, and then you can book a call and we can talk about you joining us. If you have any questions, then please do reach out to me on LinkedIn. If you have watched this video and found it useful, please like and comment so we can get it out to more people in the world so that we can change the economy, we can change your lives, we can change your clients' lives. Thank you for joining me today on today's live. Let me know, were you live? Hashtag live. Were you watching the replay? Hashtag replay. Please don't forget to like and comment. I would really appreciate it, and have an amazing day. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye.